So guys, I've been sitting here trying to film an intro for this video for like 20 minutes and I don't know what the fuck to say. So all I'm gonna say is, hello, my name is Elena and welcome to my channel. This is my first video going up and I've been wanting to make this YouTube channel for a long time, probably like years. But I never really knew, like, I don't know, I just kept putting it off because I'm like, I don't know what type of content I want to make. You will see every type of video there is on this channel. So I thought, finally time to do this shit. And I named my channel ET Talks because my initials are ET and literally all I do is talk. If you're my friend in real life, then you know I don't shut the fuck up. I'm actually really annoying. So good luck if you're gonna watch these videos, but thank you for your support. Anyways, I wanted to kick off this channel with something that I've been talking about to like some of my friends for a while, and just like wanted to set the channel in this sort of direction. I'm gonna be talking to you guys about the sequence of life, and you might be like, Elena, how the fuck are you qualified to even talk about this, and what the fuck are you even talking about? So you may be wondering, what exactly is this sequence in life? And the sequence of life is simply just the way that events go throughout your life. Every day you wake up, you do some shit, you go back to sleep. And some days are more significant than others. Some days you can't even remember it because nothing even happened, like nothing important happened. So this sequence is all the big events that have a significant impact on your life and kind of the way that you go through them. And the reason why this sequence is so important is because things don't just happen for no reason. You don't just go through certain situations just, like for fuck all. Like when you go through different things, you're expected, something is expected out of it. Either this situation is going to help you learn, it's going to help you grow, it's maybe going to teach you about yourself, it's going to teach you about others. There's some reason why you're going through this. I think that we need to spend more time figuring out, well, what are these reasons? Because when you figure out what the reasons are, or when you come to terms of what the reasons are, that's when you grow. If you just go through all these situations and you don't pay any attention to them and you don't ever kind of like reflect back, then you're going through these situations for no reason. You're suffering for no reason. You're breaking relationships for no reason. You're losing friends for no reason. So there's a lot of things that, even if you might see that situation as horrible and the worst time of your life, there is something that can come out of that. And I think that's really important, what we need to focus on. And the reason why I'm so interested in this is because the past few years of my life have been insane. So many things happening at once. Friendships being made broken, relationship being made broken, all these different crazy things. Work, school, I don't even know where to start. But this year, really, I've just kind of focused more on kind of understanding, like, my past and why certain things played out the way that they did. And I came to like a certain realization one day where everything kind of clicked. Like everything made sense. Everything from the past few years made sense. And some situations that have been going on like more throughout my entire life, I feel like I just kind of stood there and like I was just given some key and I unlocked a door, and the door literally just told me, like, it just showed me the light of all these things coming together. It was like a connect the dots and everything just clicked together perfectly. And now when I look back, I see different situations and I'm like, this happened because it was gonna be like the precursor for this, which then caused this to happen, then caused this. And that's exactly why I am the way I am right now, or why I am here right now, or why I am with these people right now. And I'm sure you guys have had these same experiences yourself, and I really hope you have, because they're truly so eye-opening. Because I want you guys to be more aware of what happens in your life. I want you guys to actually take the effort and try to understand these things and try to understand why you're going through certain situations. The first thing that I think is the most important that we have to realize is that time is never wrong. Although time is a man-made thing, timing is never wrong. You are exactly where you need to be right now in your life. You are exactly where you need to be. If you were not where you need to be, you would be somewhere else. You're not in the wrong situation, because that's not how life works. Think about life as a book, okay? And if you're religious, a lot of religious people, they think that God has kind of created this life for them and that God is taking them on their journey and on their path. Would your God ever put you in the wrong situation? Would he ever place you in the wrong spot? Would he ever put you in something that you're not prepared for, unless it was for like a reason to learn? I do believe that the universe has a plan for us, that there is a higher power that has a plan for us, because there's no way that we as humans we can't even grasp half these concepts, to be honest. But there's a plan. So the way that I like to visualize it is that there's a book, and this book is the book of my life. And this book has exactly every single thing that's going to happen to me, every single day, what I'm going to be going through. And my job is to live this book, basically, to live the script. But my job is not just to live it, because my job is also to now understand it and to go through these things and understand why they're happening. Because why else are we on this earth if we're not learning, if we're not growing, if we're not educating others? What the fuck are we doing? Just sitting at home watching TV? That's boring. That's shit. I've seen a lot of people always say like, oh, you know, all my friends are successful, they're doing well in school, they're in happy relationships, they're doing this, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, when is it my turn? Or like, why isn't it happening for me? So two things. Number one, it's just not your turn yet. It's not your turn yet. Maybe you're not ready. You're probably not ready for those things. And that's something that you also have to sit back and analyze. You know, sometimes like I think, well, you know, like, why am I not getting to the successes that I want with like work, for example? Then I look back and I'm like, wait, I'm not doing anything to actually make it there. So I can't just wait for things to like happen for me. Or when people are like upset that they're not like in a happy relationship, are you doing anything to actually to try to get into a relationship? Do you have the redeeming qualities that are needed to create this good relationship? So things that you have to look at. And that's what I want to say. Like, you have to be happy for others, for your friends, for whoever, because their time just might be before yours. But your time will come. Whether it comes in the same way or not, that's something that we don't know, right? But your time will come, and the timing is never wrong. Things happen exactly when they need to, and that's the whole sequence. And that's how you're gonna understand the sequence. Sometimes when you're in that actual situation, you might not understand it. And most of the time you don't understand it, because we only know what we know up until right now. And usually what we know at this very moment is not enough to understand what we're going through. You know what I mean? So it's like, think about, as you get older, you gain more wisdom. So as I get older, when I look back at myself like a year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I'm just like, wow, like, you fucking dumb bitch. Like, why would you do those things? Same way how we're in a certain situation and we don't realize what's happening before our eyes. It isn't only until a few months later or even a few years later that we look back and we're like, okay, like, now I get what was happening. So this is just an example that I have from like the past, I think, year. And the person that this example is about, I'm pretty sure is watching this video. So I'm not going to name like a name, but this is just an example to show how these things make sense and like how things click together. Okay. So before my first year of university, I was added to this like Facebook group, basically, which is like all the students are gonna be graduating in the same year of like 2021. Okay. And in this group, what they did was everyone kind of followed this template where they would share their name, hobbies, music interests, program, age, where they live, whatever, all the type of stuff. Okay. Everyone was sharing it. So I didn't share mine because I'm like, this shit's lame. And honestly, I'm just a hater. So I'm like, this shit's lame. But I'll still look through it because I wanted to see like who's in my program and if I knew any people, or like, you know, just to see who was going to the school. So basically one day I'm scrolling through this and I don't know, I literally don't know why, or I don't even know how. I scrolled across this guy's profile, okay? And I saw, like, I was just reading it and I saw like in his music that he wrote that he liked Smoke Dogg. And I was like, okay, like I didn't see anybody else write this, and I didn't know too many people at the time that like also liked Smoke Dogg. So I'm like, okay, like that's cool. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna comment on his thing and say, I think I said something like, I don't even remember what I said, like Smoke Dogg, I rate it, or something like that. Okay, so I commented that on his post and just left it at that. I'm like, okay, like that's cool. And I didn't comment on any other person's post in this entire group. And there's like 3,000 people in this group. And nothing really took me by surprise by this profile. I was just like I just saw the Smoke Dogg thing. I'm like, okay, I'll just comment. That's it. So fast forward a few months. I'm in my biology lab, okay? the class is about to start. There's an empty seat. It's like me and my partner, there's an empty seat like beside us, and then there's another like group with an empty seat. So this guy walks in, he asks us, can he sit here? I'm like, yeah, of course. And like looking at him, I'm like, okay, like this guy looks a little bit familiar, but like I couldn't really put, like I didn't really know like where he was from, like where I kind of recognize him from. I saw his name written down, and still I'm like, okay, like it's familiar, but I don't know where it's from. So give it like a few weeks, and I'm like, wait a second, like I swear this is the guy who had commented on Facebook. So I went back to the Facebook post and I found it, and I looked at his profile. I'm like, oh my god, yeah, like that's the guy that's in my class, that's in my lab group. And I didn't say anything because he was like really, really shy. I'm like, okay, it's gonna be weird if I bring this shit up. So I didn't say anything. Okay, fast forward a few more months. Now we're in the same lab, like we're in the same lab class the next semester. This is still first year. And you know, now we're kind of just like more casual acquaintances, just here and there, like little small talk. Eventually we just kind of started like talking more here and there, just at school, just about school stuff. And like later that summer, we just kind of became like more friendly, just kind of once again keeping in touch for school stuff, helping each other with like our school schedules because we were taking some of like similar courses. Fast forward a few more months to right now, to this very day, this is one of the closest people in my life. And it's just crazy because I look back and I'm like, wait, like out of 3,000 people, I commented on this guy's post. And then somehow he walks in perfectly late at the right time into class to sit beside me. Because let's say he sat somewhere else. I wouldn't have talked to him the entire semester. And then I wouldn't have got the chance to talk to him in any other class too. Because when I don't know someone, like I'm not going to go and talk to them. I wouldn't even realize that it was him. So from those certain interactions, it's like, okay, like everything kept growing. And the way that I see it, it's like this person was meant to be in my life. And this is exactly why. And like these situations happen at exactly the perfect timing to make it happen, right? Like for things to be the way that they are right now. And it's so crazy to me. I'm like, how is that even possible? Like how did everything work out in a perfect sequence? And like those little tiny details, if like he walked into class any earlier, he could have sat anywhere else. Or if we didn't have the class together the next semester, or, you know, if we didn't, like, all those little details that could have been changed, that could have made something completely different. So it's just crazy how all those things kind of lined up. So another example, you could be going and dealing with a person that might be, you know, draining, very toxic, just overall a very negative situation. And like I said, in the moment, you don't even realize. In the moment, you're so starstruck, you're so absorbed by this person, by this situation, that you might not even realize that there's anything wrong. But then you look back and you're like, oh my god, like how did I let myself get into a situation like that? How did I let someone treat me like that? How did I allow those things to happen? And that's okay. I'm sure everyone has felt situations like that and they've regretted. But that's what you're learning. You're learning to now, for the future, now you have new standards. Now you have new boundaries. Now you know what you need. Now you know what you don't need. Now you know what type of people to stay away from, and when to see those sort of red flags, when to see those warning signs, and how to exit these situations. That was a horrible thing that you've went through. But now for the future, you've learned to respect yourself more. You've learned to love yourself more, and because of that, you will also get that respect and love in return, because you're going to look for people who are willing to give it. You're going to look for people who are not anything like the person that once hurt you in the past. So that's just like a little example to kind of, so fascinating of how life works, and how it's like everything was just perfectly planned and made for you to go through these certain things so that you can be exactly who you are today. And a good way to kind of practice understanding some events in your past, this is literally exactly what I did. I took some time out of my day where I knew I was going to just be alone and be able to think. And for a lot of the times, you have to think about situations where, you know, it might have not been as pleasant. So it might elicit some memories that aren't the greatest, but it's needed. Like, for you to confront your past, you need to be able to get into like that vulnerable state. You need to be able to feel uncomfortable, right? Because that's how you'll grow. So what I did is I took my notebook, and this is optional, but I feel like this just really helped me. And I wrote down the names of like the few people that maybe in my past few years have had the most impact on me. And I've also wrote down like different situations that have had the most impact on me. Now, in my personal life, I feel like I've had more impact with people than I do with like other situations. So for example, like school or work. I've never had like too many issues with that, but I have more issues with like people, whether it's friendships, relationships, family stuff, all like that type of stuff basically. So I wrote down the names of a few people and I wrote down other situations. I basically made notes about a few different things. So first is what that actual situation was. Like in that moment, how was our relationship for those people? What were the good aspects of it? What were the bad aspects of it? And basically like how is that situation still going on? If it is, how is it currently? If it isn't going on, like if something's ended, for example, why did it end? And I just kind of put, a few notes down and just kind of tried to look at how I also played a role in these situations and how maybe those people, how those people affected me. So I wrote all that down and I spent time on each individual kind of section and just really thought about it and thought, okay, this is when this person entered in my life. This is the type of role they played in my life. These are the bad things they did to me. These are the good things they did to me. These are the bad things I did to them. Good things I did to them. This is why things ended. This is why, whatever. And I did that for every single thing. I did that for the situations as well. Like this is what this situation, this is why like this, for example, work situation was very bad. This is what I did to make it worse, or this is what I did to make it better. So I kept doing that. And as I was going through like each thing, I'm like, okay, wait. The traits that I may have had, the negative traits that I may have had in a previous situation, I now didn't have in the next one. Because between the time where I went through that first situation and the second one, I learned what's right and wrong. The negative things I experienced in that situation did not then again repeat in the next one because I learned. Because I knew that, okay, if someone's treating me like this, that's wrong. I can't settle for that in the future. I can't have that in the future. Move to the next situation, those traits were not there anymore. The same things, this negative things that I would do, those traits were not there anymore. Like looking back and I'm like, okay, wait, like I see that there's growth here. I literally see growth on a piece of paper. I don't do the things that I used to do. I don't act the way that I used to do. I don't let certain people in my life the way that I used to, and so on and whatsoever. And as I'm looking through this page, I'm like, okay, like everything's kind of making sense. It's like I'm growing from here to here to here. And when you're looking at it right in front of you, you can kind of connect things, piece them together. And you realize that, well, when this person entered your life, they entered it for this reason. For you to go through this event, to learn a specific trait or to learn a specific thing, okay. And then the next person enters, same thing. The next person enters, same thing. Or this situation happens, you learn that. So every day you have to keep moving, you have to keep growing. And if you're not, then what are you actually doing? Like, what are you doing then? You're just being there. You're just taking up space. Oh my God, I'm being so mean right now. You're not evolving. And what is life about? Evolution. So if we're doing survival of the fittest, and the fittest would be those who are able to evolve, to match the environment around them. This is literally adaptation. Then I don't know what to tell you. Like your lineage is gonna be cut short. Like it's done for you basically. I don't know how else to tell you. Darwin's looking down. He's frowning on your bitch ass. But anyways, oh my God. I hope you guys don't take that the wrong way. The most important reason for all these things is to learn about yourself and to learn about your true self. Because most people don't know their true selves. Heck, I don't even know my true self. For the most part, there's a lot of things about me that I don't understand. There's a lot of things about me that I don't yet know. Same thing for you. And I feel like most people, I guess most younger people as well, have not figured it out yet. And I think really my goal in life is to fully find out who I am, what I'm here to do. So piecing together these parts of your past, these things that have shaped you, these things that have changed you, have changed your personality, have changed your character, have they've changed literally everything for you. By piecing those things together, you just get to uncover more parts of yourself. Though we can never truly know if the interpretations we make about our past are true or not, that's not the point. There's never a true answer. There's no right answer. There's no wrong answer. It's just how you feel and what makes you comfortable with it. Because at the end of the day, you can live your entire life resenting your past, resenting these people, and just hating everything, being miserable. But all it takes is to look back and to accept things for the way that they've happened and to understand that although it had maybe had a negative effect on you, there was a reason for that effect. And there's a reason for something that happened there. And to learn what has come out of it. And that's not something that just, everyone can do. You have to also be active and take the initiative to make the best out of your situations. You have to take the initiative to grow. You have to take the initiative to look at yourself, to really, really look at yourself and say, you know what? Maybe I'm the cause for most of my problems. Maybe I'm the reason that this ended this way. Maybe I'm the reason I got in that situation. And take that shit, literally take all that shit and learn from it. To end this video, all I want to say is just do your best. At the end of the day, it's going to be in your best interest to try to come to terms with your past and to understand how it shaped you today. Figure out that sequence in your life and figure out the whole concept of what I'm talking about sooner than later, because the more you are in tune with yourself, the easier it's going to be for you to go through the rest of your life and all the hardships that are going to come along, because now you understand how these things work, and everything in the future is going to kind of be a reminder of this whole sequence that I'm talking about. So I'll definitely touch up on this topic again, probably in the future when I have more knowledge, when I'm wiser about these things, when I've gone through other situations. And maybe one day, if I'm comfortable enough, maybe I'll give you guys specific real life examples. But yeah, if you guys like this video, subscribe. If there's something that you don't agree with or you want more clarification on, comment, DM me, message me, whatever. Yeah, I'll be posting videos hopefully every week. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching my first video. I know it's kind of intense and kind of like out of the blue, or for those of you who don't know me, you're probably like, you might be surprised that I'm like this, because I'm literally the most sarcastic, annoying person ever. So I don't think most people would see me like talking about a topic like this, but this is me. So if you guys watch this, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your days, enjoy the rest of your week, and go figure out your life.